I have no time for working out. If I had a penny for every time I heard this, probably I would be a billionaire by now. But let's not make a joke out of this. Let's solve this problem today. So there are mainly three things I want to cover. Like, first of all, what does not having time, okay, let's make it four. What not having time of working out or for working out really means, and how to manage this, how to kick this out from your list of problems in life. And then I want to talk about the three different solutions. So we will be mentioning micro workouts, blitzkrieg workouts, and GTG, greasing the grow. Okay, these might sound a little bit weird, but let me tell you something, they are completely effective and they don't require, anything of your additional time. So first of all, what does not having time for working out mean? So it can mean really two things. You're not prioritizing it enough, so you're not making it a priority in your lifestyle to get some movement in. So this is the least acceptable excuse, right? Because you don't have a time problem, you probably have a priority problem that you don't think that it's important and you can't fit in there in the 24 hours of your day, or for example just 1 hour every 48 or 72 hours. That could be completely enough. You don't need more than 2 to 3 hours per week. Let me show you something. None of my clients train more than 2 to 3 hours per week either. I do not allow it. Of course, unless you really enjoy it, you can go for a bit more, but look at these. I really hope it's visible. Yes, now it is visible. So if they could achieve transformations like this, why couldn't you? You can do this. These guys are between 35 to 55 years of age, and they are happy, they are full of energy, they are vital. You could be like that too, right? You just need to prioritize your time a little bit. But no worries, if you haven't prioritized it, you might just have a sleep problem, because then you wake up feeling crashed, stressed, anxious, and it rolls over your entire day, right? You have a little bit of messed up schedule before that. Without the clarity on your schedule, or with the lack of clarity on your schedule, you tend to mess things up. You get even more stressed and anxious, so you try to finish up everything in the evening, so the bedtime again gets delayed, and guess what? You will sleep terrible again, so you won't have time. But today we are not here to talk about sleep optimization. Let's save that for another chapter. But I want to discuss that, okay, if it is not a priority problem or sleep problem, then what does that mean that you don't have time to train? I do know that there are very, very few exceptions in life. So for example, when you have 6 kids and you have 10 figures of assets under management at the firm that you own, then I can understand, and I know that it's an extreme outlier, but I did have a client like this who made amazing results, so why couldn't you, right? But in this case, I can understand that you're so busy and that you're so overwhelmed, and it might even be a high season of the year that you just can't find not even 90 minutes per week to get some consistent movement in. What do you do now, right? So let's turn the pages and go for the solutions, right? So the solutions are pretty simple. First of all, these are called the micro workouts. So these are not workouts, but these are periodized movement sessions which don't last more than 2 to 5 minutes. This is something that moves through your entire body, gets your blood flowing, and you can schedule them for, let's say, every hour, or 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the evening, and they shouldn't last more than 2 to 5 minutes. It could be like 30 reps of burpees, right? It could be a set of push-ups until failure every hour. So you set a timer for yourself, and it helps you refocus, regain your energy levels, and then get back into the deep workflow again, right? So these micro workouts help a lot. It could be even scheduled for your lunch break. It could be something that you do right before meetings, right before sales calls, right? Just to have a form of movement that you're consistent with whenever a certain time period passes, or you attach it to an event, right? So these are the so-called micro workouts. These micro workouts can help you with mobility. So you can say that, okay, I'm doing shoulder circles or shoulder extensions, whatever, every single time an hour passes. Or every time I stand up from my chair, I do 5 repetitions of bodyweight squats. You can burn a lot of extra calories with this. And what's more, you can get the blood flowing, you can move through your entire body just by doing these, right? I would say a life hack for you would be just installing a pull-up bar in your office or at the door frame. So every time you pass, you do something there. It could be dead hangs, it could be pull-ups, whatever. So these micro workouts help you a lot to make sense of time and to not do everything at once, but scheduled periodically, because then it doesn't feel like an entire workout. You're just getting your micro workouts in. Okay, are these the most optimal for burning as much calories as you can? Well, some could argue, because a lot of step counts and a lot of calories are accumulating by the end of the day if you keep moving consistently like this, right? So if you keep doing, let's say, 50 push-ups every hour you spend awake, and let's say you spend awake like 14, 16 hours or more, right? That's a lot of push-ups. This is a lot of calories burned, right? But is it optimal for, let's say, growing lean muscle and progressing? Well, might not be the most optimal, might not be as optimal as a high intensity workout in the gym, but you can still get results with it. So let's say if I stop doing everything I do right now in the gym. By the way, my routine currently is very minimalistic. I go to the gym 2 to 3 times per week, and that's it. I don't spend there more than a total of 2 to 2.5 hours per week in total. And I look like this. I have a pretty decent physique, right? So if I stop doing all this and I just did micro workouts, I could still make progress, because it's not about how much you do, it's about how intense you do it. So if you can concentrate on a single movement for 2 minutes straight and give it almost all, you don't have to go until failure, just close to that, you will make progress. You don't need a shitload of sets, right? So micro workouts will be the way to go. Or if you tend to spend a lot of time seated, you have a seated job, this is sedentary, right? Then every hour just stand up and do some stretches, or go onto the floor, do some cat cow stretches, do some yoga position, do some hip twists, mobilize. So whatever your goal is, optimize for that, right? And do that type of movement every hour, every 2 hours, or every time something happens. Tie it to an event that happens frequently, right? So this is how you can get the movement in without actually having to go to the gym, right? Or without having to allocate separately some time for working out. So because I know that there are seasons in life when that's the only solution. And of course, if you have someone who has an extra pair of eyes to look at you and to keep you accountable, then you've got the winning formula. You can actually transform your body, your health, your energy levels without even going to the gym. That's the most beautiful thing about the whole process, that it's all tailored to your environment. Your health, your body doesn't make difference between whether it's a dumbbell or your body weight, or this is a phone and I'm doing Russian twists with my phone. I can do whatever I want, right? As long as my body and my muscle groups are being moved, right? Okay, next one, blitzkrieg workouts. These are amazing to schedule on your lunch break. Blitzkrieg workout means that you are completely destroying a single muscle group or 2 muscle groups maximum at a time in 10 to 15 minutes. We tend to deploy supersets, trisets, and giant sets. I'm going to explain what that means for certain exercises here to absolutely burn out the muscle group and then forget it for the rest of the week, or at least for a good couple of days, right? So what we do is usually we do a couple of, let's say, dumbbell exercises. We batch them up together and we do 2, 3, or maximum 4 rounds for that. So this could be a tricep. A superset is when you're doing 2 exercises back to back with each other without rest in between. A tricep is when you're doing 3 exercises, and a giant set is when you're doing 4 or more. Or sometimes we do drop sets that, let's say you start doing bicep curls with a set of dumbbells. Okay, you achieve near failure, then you switch to a smaller pair. And then, once you are finished with that, you're near failure, you drop it, you switch to a lighter pair of dumbbells, and that's it. That's the whole thing. But what is a blitzkrieg workout? So the blitzkrieg workout deploys these supersets, trisets, giant sets, whatever you prefer. The goal is to burn out that certain muscle group in less than 10 to 15 minutes, as much as you can. So if you happen to have a little gym at your office, right? Or if you happen to have a couple of rubber bands that you can bring with yourself to your work, or if you just have 10 minutes of spare time between two meetings to re-energize yourself, right? Take advantage of the blitzkrieg workouts, pick a muscle group for the day or two, and ruthlessly pump the hell out of it. This worked like a charm with a lot of my clients who are super busy, especially the ones who are working in tech or are tech founders, and their workload is just insane what they have to do. So we started employing these blitzkrieg workouts. They got amazing results, so I thought I would share this with you guys as well. By the way, blitzkrieg means like lightning war in German, so that's why I chose this name, because it's like, okay, fast as lightning, and it's a war. You're tearing up your muscle fibers and then you're ready to go. So yes, it's painful, but at least the war is over very, very soon, right? And now we can talk about GTG, so greasing the grow. What that means is that you pick a movement or a certain exercise and you tie it to either a location or an event. But this is not periodized. For example, the micro workouts. This is more like it depends on the occurrence of the event or the frequency that you visit that certain place. So greasing the grow could be doing a bodyweight squat and then drinking an entire glass of water every time that you go to the toilet. I call it the TSW, the toilet squat water. You go to the toilet, you finish, you do a bodyweight squat, and then you drink water. So you put yourself into this positive feedback loop and you boost your metabolism and you burn a shit ton of calories throughout the whole day, because you will be visiting the toilet quite frequently, right? So this is a good example of GTG. Or you install a pull-up bar to your door frame at your office or at your room, and every time you're passing by, you're banging out a few reps, or just a few. If you can't do a pull-up yet, you just jump up to the top and you're doing negatives as slow as possible. Or every time you pass your office, you're doing 5 reps of burpees, whatever. So these are not tied to a certain hour of the day or a certain time of the day. It's more like a certain location or the occurrence of an event. So pick an event that occurs frequently, or pick a location that you visit frequently, and then pick a movement that you can do easily and that you enjoy doing, and pick an amount of that movement, a rep count, that you can do in a way that, okay, it's hard, but you won't fail. So for example, 80% of your maximum reps on push-ups could be a great example of, let's say, every time you see, let's say, every time you see a gray Mercedes on the street, you're doing 80% of your maximum reps of push-ups. Or I just said something, right? It could be an example. Or every time, you open a certain software on your computer. So for example, every time you have to open Google, let's say this, it's pretty frequent, then you're doing a set of push-ups, whatever. Every time you get a new appointment booked in your calendar, you're doing 5 jumping squats, or whatever you're comfortable with. So what really matters is that you're greasing the grow. You're getting a ton of reps in, you're getting a lot of overload for your muscles, and this is scientifically proven that they will produce more nuclei, so the core of the muscle cells. So your muscles will develop as well, you will burn more calories, you will be energized, more energetic throughout the entire day, so you get countless of benefits of just moving, right? You don't need to have a workout plan. You need to have a lifestyle. You need to have a structure that enables you to get your movement in, to stay active, and to become lean and energetic for life. Because ultimately, this is my message. This is the message of Demi Cycle Protocol. This is why we help you guys. This is why we help our clients to create a world of high performers and entrepreneurs who are lean and energetic and are not neglecting their health. Because I do think that a healthy body, it always contains a healthy soul and brain and mind, whatever you call it, right? And these healthy people are supposed to be on the top of the top. This is how we can ultimately make the world a better place. And it all starts with a little bit of movement. So if you like this video, guys, like and subscribe and whatever, and let me know in the comments below, like, what are your movement habits, or if you do not have time for any movement at all, what do you find useful, and what is that you're having questions about? What are you curious about? What you would like to find out more about? Or what do you find the most difficult about just being consistent and getting your movement in? I'm really curious to find this out. But if you are already a busy entrepreneur who got rid of putting his health on the back burner, and you say that, okay, Ábris, I need your help, craft up this game plan for me, whatever, but I don't want to spend any time in the gym, or I want to spend there as little as possible, let's make it happen. Then book a free call with us, it's down in the description, set an appointment, and let's see how we can craft up a game plan for you that enables you to become lean and energetic for life, get below 15% body fat, double your natural energy levels without abusing stimulants or taking sedatives. And if this sounds good to you, I'm pretty sure we will make an amazing team. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, and see you next one.